Hello friends, myself Dr.Jayvir and today we are going to learn about the fourth classification of the CNC machine tools. So previously we had already seen the three types of classification. The first one is based on the motion of the tool. There are two subcategories of the first type of classification, which are point to point type and contouring type. Now second classification is based on the control loops. So there are two types of control loop. One is open loop system, second one is closed loop system. As we have already discussed, the closed loop system having advantage of feedback. If you apply feedback to the system, feedback in terms of positioning, feedback in terms of temperature, feedback in terms of change in pressure. So such kind of changes will give correction action, and due to that corrective action, closed loop system is far better than the open loop system. The third type of classification is based upon the number of axes. So in case of number of axes, there are two subcategories. First one is 2 and 3 type of axis, 2 axis and 3 axis type of CNC machine, and the second category is 4 axis and 5 axis types of CNC machine. In case of 2 axis type of CNC machine, the example is CNC lathe machine, and in case of 3 axis type of CNC machine, the example is CNC milling machine. But if the same axis is designated to workpiece, means tool can translate in three direction. Tool can translate or direct in three direction, which are those X, Y and Z. And if additionally there are any axis provided to workpiece, so that is called fourth and fifth axis in case of CNC machine, and which are very much specific purpose machine, those who are able to derive the 5 axis mechanism or 5 axis manufacturing technique. We have already seen the videos of it, and if you haven't seen the videos, then you need to subscribe this channel, and also please watch the previous videos in order to get the idea of it. Now in today's lecture we are going to learn about the fourth classification, which is based on the power supply. So there are three types of power supply. First one is electric type of power supply, second one is hydraulic type of power supply, and third one is pneumatic type of power supply system. Let's discuss it in detail. Okay, so I need to remove it. Okay, next slide. So based on the power supply system, if suppose this question is asked in the examination, that classification of CNC machine tools, so you need to describe all the classification, which I have already just give you a brief examples in today's lecture, as I have already briefed you about the classification in today's lecture. So now we are moving forward to the based on the power supply classification. So mechanical power unit is divided into subcategory of electric motor, hydraulic system, pneumatic system and hybrid system. So recently we have seen the three subcategories. One is electric type, another one is hydraulic type, and third one is pneumatic type. Now the new word comes into the picture, which is called hybrid type. And as the name suggests, it's a combination of one or more power system. So if the electric motor and hydraulic mechanism is synchronized in a single system, then it is called hybrid system. As we have already seen such kind of system in the automobile in recent days, that electric vehicles and CNG vehicles, or say petrol vehicles and CNG vehicles. So if such kind of fusion is available, then it is called hybrid system. Okay, now into the subcategory of the electric motor having controlled clutches kind of mechanism, DC split field motor and DC separately excited field motor. Now This part is related to electrical engineering, but in case of mechanical engineering, you need to know this subcategory. Okay. So in case of hydraulic system rams will be there and motors will be there. And in case of pneumatic system, again rams will be there and motors will be there. And in case of hydraulic system, the subcategory is hydraulic ram backed by pneumatic pressure. Now sometimes some students having difficulty in order to differentiate between pneumatic system and the hydraulic system. The basic difference between the pneumatic system and the hydraulic system is hydraulic system runs with the fluid and pneumatic system runs with the air as a fluid. So this hydraulic system may be utilized with positioning and contouring machine tools of all sizes. The first classification. This system may be either in form of rams or motor. Hydraulic motors are smaller than electric motors of equivalent power. There are several types of hydraulic motors. The advantage of using hydraulic motor is that they can be very small and have considerable torque. This means that they may be incorporated in servo system which requires having a rapid response. So servo system is, as we have previously discussed, the servo system is far better than the stepper motor, and it will provide the accurate positioning or very less amount of error. Electric motors may be used for controlling both positioning and contouring machines. They may be either AC type or DC type, alternating current or direct current type motor, and the torque and direction of rotation need to be controlled. The speed of a DC motor can be controlled by varying either the field or the armature supply. The clutch control motor can either be an AC or DC motor. They are generally used for small machine tools because of heat losses in the clutches. Split field motors are the simplest form of motors, can be controlled in a manner according to the machine tools. And these are small and generally run at high maximum speed and so require reduction in gear ratio. Separately excited motor are used with control system for driving the slides of large machine tools. Look at this figure and tell me where is the saddle provided over here, because based on the saddle the Z axis of the CNC machine is defined. So look at this figure and WhatsApp me the answer by indicating here is the saddle and what is the purpose of the saddle. Now do you know that there will be another type of CNC machine which is called slant bed CNC machine, and what is the function of it? The slant bed CNC machine means the bed of this CNC machine will be slant. Now why the slant bed is provided? See, this is something called common sense engineering. So what is the main difficulty while manufacturing any object on the CNC machine is the chip or the dust of the chip collected on the bed. That will be the difficult part. So once the chip is accumulated, it will heat the workpiece by wearing and tearing with the tools. So in order to avoid such kind of problem, the slant bed CNC machine is observed. So what you need to do, you need to first check out the literature related to slant bed on the website, try to find out the exact solution of it, and send me the answer in the WhatsApp group. And then what you need to do, you need to put it as an assignment that what is exactly the slant bed and why it is provided. Okay, I think slide is over. Now how to turn on this video? Just a minute. This is a demonstration of the CNC tabletop machine. So how beautifully the CNC type of computer numerical control lathe bed tabletop machine can be assembled. This video shows that particular image. મારો લેક્ચર હતો કેતા ભૂલી ગયો તમને. So here it is a CNC lathe machine with the chuck and the tailstock with the cross slide. Only one motor is required, and how beautifully this rotary motion is converted into many manufacturing system or many object creation. That's the beauty of the engineering, so that we are having very less number of basic motions like translation, rotation, and rotation is the basic most option which we are having as being an engineer. So we need to use rotary motion in order to create any different innovations or inventions out of it. See that the motor is started. Now one can insert n number of parts between the tailstock and the headstock and can obtain n number of objectives out of it. So it's an n number of possibilities from the engineering invention. So that's it. That's I want to represent in front of you. Let's moving further and let's discuss about the ball screw based linear drive. So this is the most important question as far as the GTU examination is concerned in the subject computer aided manufacturing. So where this ball screw is provided, this ball screw is provided in the lead screw of the lathe machine. And what it functions? It functions to translate or give a linear motion to the saddle. How it is possible? Let's check it out. Closely look at the video. So you are able to have a glimpse of how the ball screw mechanism is work. Let's discuss further details of it. Let's check it out the history of the ball screw. So in the ancient Egypt, where the Egypt pyramids are obtained, the first difficulty is they need to they need to push all the stones at the top of the pyramid, but then the rotary motion of wheels invention will be there. Then ball screw mechanism will be derived. How it is derived? The evolution of the transition of the technology. The need of such kind of effort reducing devices arising. and that leads to the generation or invention of the ball screw mechanism. What is linear motion? The linear motion is if one is moving from one end to another end with the straight line, or say in the motion of the line, that is called linear motion. So slidings and rolling, in which case the resistance will be less? Definitely in case of rolling the resistance will be less, and that's why all the metros, all the sliding doors which are provided in the kitchen, or say the Xerox machine slider, is provided with the rotary motion, not the sliding motion, because sliding increases the wear and tear of the technology. The history of the ball screw, which tells the mechanism, whether it is Ackerman or Davis mechanism in the automobile, which requires adjustment of the steering wheel, and that adjustment is carried out by using ball screw mechanism. Again, the cheap manufacturing devices also used for the positioning control or positioning accuracy, the ball screw mechanism. The ball screw is provided with screw, nut, circulation system, and screw ball. See, the nut mechanism and the screw ball mechanism is basically having the same features or same kind of movement. External ball screw, internal circulation ball screw, and end cap type of ball screw are the type of the ball screw. And here are the glimpse of it. External circulation ball screw having following features. Where the balls are circulated externally, that's why it is called external circulation type of ball screw. Closely look at this mechanism. It's a spiral mechanism, so on a spiral threads all the balls are circulating. I hope you are getting it, the external circulation ball screw. Now the second one is internal circulation ball screw. There is no external end caps are provided. But a cap is provided internally so that the ball can move from one place to another place, means from one thread to another thread. Here you can check it out. The external or say internal space is provided to change the position of the ball. And third one is end cap circulation screw. There are two end caps are provided through which the reverse motion of the ball screw can be generated. So these are the basic three types of the ball screw mechanism. Very beautifully analyze that how it will work. So ball screw, the contact geometry. The contact geometry of a ball screw is derived by the thread space and the screw diameter. The pitch circle diameter of the thread space and lead of the screw must match with the ball screw diameter. So what happens if the ball screw diameter is very less or very high than the thread thickness? Then what may be the problem, or what kind of backlash or say preloading conditions are generated? Let's discuss about it. Basic principles and definitions. See, basic dynamic load rating is given by if number of balls are working at a similar time. So dynamic rating is given by which ball last for long time. That is called dynamic rating. So suppose we are having 100 balls which are used in the mechanism, and by using it under the load of 100 Newton, suppose the 100 Newton load is continuously applied on the each and every ball. So for how much time the working of every ball does not affect the amount of load exerted on it, that is called the dynamic rating. That is all about the dynamic rating. And the ball with the higher dynamic rating is useful in case of ball screw. And static rating is given by when there is no motion, but by applying the amount of load, how the behavior of the material gets changed. Or here in this case ball screw mechanism, the ball gets changed. If we apply certain amount of load due to the material property, if it moves from the elastic property or elastic stress, then the deformation is going to be there permanently. So very less deformation is desirable. Now structure of the ball screw is given here. If the ball diameter is less than the thread thickness, then it will generate backlash, and which is not desirable, because due to the backlash we are not able to get the accurate reading out of it. Let's check it out. What do you mean by backlash? See, there is one car and one person is moving in it, but the person having the less thickness than the available space in the car. So what will happen? It will face some jerk inside the car. So due to the jerk, the person is not feeling comfortable. But instead of the thin person, if some person like me, fatty person, will be inserted inside the car. So the car is fully packed, and now when you stop the car, there will be no jerk available inside the system. So in the same manner, if the ball having the similar diameter as per the thickness of the lead screw, then it will not generate any kind of jerk. But if the diameter of the ball is less, then such kind of jerk is generated. Now what will happen if the diameter of the ball is higher than the thickness of the thread? So that will generate preloading condition. Now what do you mean by preloading? It will increase the wear and tear amount, and which is not desirable again. So high rigidity, which you can also see that if we provide preloading condition, that will give advantage of high rigidity. So here the small bearing and small preloads and the large bearing and large preloads are mentioned. So due to the small preload, the poor rigidity and large displacement will be there, but the large preload will provide the good rigidity and small displacement. So preloading condition having their own advantage, but mind well, the preloading condition also increases the wear and tear of the material. So you need to provide the highest quality of material in order to reduce the wear and tear, or in order to increase the dynamic rating of a particular ball. So why such kind of preloading and backlash and all the things are required in order to get the position accuracy? If you do not use such kind of system, then after the use of system for a few hours or for a few days, your system will not give the accurate reading out of it if you do not apply such kind of conditions, or if you have not thought about the preloading or backlash conditions out of it. So every manufacturing firm, those which are using CNC machining, they're based on the accuracy with which the machine can perform the operation. And in order to achieve accuracy, the one of the main part of the CNC machine is ball screw based linear drives. So I hope in this lecture you have the glimpse of how ball screw based linear drive works. Secondly, what are the types of the ball screw? And thirdly, what do you mean by dynamic rating, backlash and preloading? You need to give me an answer in the comment box that which is preferable, backlash or preloading. I will get the glimpse whether you are getting the video or not through your answer in the comment box. See you soon in the next lecture. Till then, thank you very much. Have a nice day.